What's going on, guys? RagingRaptor here, and I welcome you to a preview of the update 1.6 on the current test server iteration number 1. So yeah, now we are just going to have a look at all the features Wargaming put into this update, and well, we're just going to quickly discuss over them and have a brief overview of everything. And the first thing we're starting off is obviously the thing which is not behind my back. Yeah. I'm not more messy Raptor anymore. We actually cleaned up a little bit, or maybe just got a green screen, which is, yeah, very good. I already talked about this in my previous video. Anyway, the second new thing in 1.6 at least is the British light tanks. And as already discussed before, they are starting from the Cromwell tank. They go from the second best gun for 63,000 experience, they go to the setter. And it might be important to note that you only have a crew of a commander, gunner, and driver. So this is not a Cromwell layout. You have a layout which is similar to the one of the Crusader with a commander, gunner, and a loader. Excuse me. No, wait, wait, did I just say something mistakenly? I think I did. Whoopala, my bad. Commander, gunner, which is also your loader as secondary. Yes, additional duty, loader, and your driver. Yes, there we go. It's the same layout as the one on our small little cruiser tank called Crusader. As you can see, it, commander, the gun, which is also the loader, and the driver. Well, after the setter, you are going to the LHMTV, and you need for that at least 25,000 from here and another 95,000 towards the LHMTV. I'm going to look at the tree in more detail afterwards in a different video. Then you go to from the LHMTV, which as far as I know also has the same crew layout exactly. You need an additional 38,000 experience to and another 164,000 to get to the GSOR 3301 AVRFS, which also has a cockerel gun if you really want to waste another 45,000 experience into it for a tiny touch better alpha and pen rate and a slightly better AM DPM, or you just skip the 48,000 experience needed for that and just go for the 9,000 experience needed for the radio, and then you get 252,000 experience ready to go to get the Manticore. So, and when you reach the Manticore, we are going to have a look at this tank afterwards, and oh my days, it only has 2 more crew members. You will lose your... Jeez, you lose your gunner. That's unfortunate. I really dislike this. Yes, on the tier 9 tank, you're going to lose your gunner. Well then, a 2-man crew. Guys, this definitely calls for a female crew. That's definitely calling for a female crew. Otherwise, you will be done for. But yeah, it's understandable. Look how small this tank is, and I hope Wargaming is not changing it, because otherwise I will be like, how the hell did you put in another guy? But yeah, you can see most likely here is the gunner or the commander, and no, wait, here probably is the commander, loader, gunner, and here we have the driver. Tank is super small, but from what I've heard so far, it is actually pretty trash. But yeah, the other thing they did, there are a lot of changes to personal missions, especially towards the Object 279, which is great for me because I'm right now grinding those poop missions. For example, this one got changed from being top 3 play in battle by damage caused from 5 battles in a row to just 3 battles in a row, which is nice. Thank you, Wargaming. I like that. For a closer look, I really suggest to you to read for yourself because there is way too much for us to just go through. They also made some tiny changes to some artillery missions, especially for the older one over here. Personally, I'm still missing some artillery missions. You can see, actually, I'm missing a lot of artillery missions. For example, this one right here, because I never seem to get those 4 kills. Anyway, about that. Next up is customization. And when we now look at my EBR, one of my most favorite tanks, which we are going to discuss afterwards as well, you can see it looks pretty cool, especially with those 3 gun marks. But now we got the ability to use more decals, and by more I mean tons more decals. There are many new decals, and there are many special which are having this small symbol down there, which means it has a special aspect ratio of like 1:4. This one has 1:6, and so on and so forth. And there are a lot, like it depends also, you can't put everywhere your decals, but you can put not every decal can go everywhere. As you can see right here, we can, for example, use this crocodile down there, but it doesn't really look that good, in my opinion. You can't really notice it. But you got a lot more positions to put your decals on. And the sad part is only you can still only put 2 decals on it, which is kind of meh. Really, it's really just meh. But for our Ferrari tank over here, and I think Skill for LTU will absolutely love this. Yes, you can actually put some Ferrari camouflage on the side of a tank, and I'm 100% going to do this on the live server. I can already say this. It looks okay. This looks bad, but on the side of a turret, it looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. I love this, so I'm definitely going to put that on. But yeah, those are the new decals. I wish Wargaming would allow us to put more decals on it and not just 2. Actually, that looks awesome, I think. But yeah, those are the ones which you could do. There are also some others. I'm going to take a different tank to just show you. Maybe some which is a tiny touch bigger. And you can see we have many spots. You can put it here, you can put it here. And you can see, you can just hover over the position you want to put it at, and it shows you quickly how it could look. Even on a gun mantlet. Even on a gun mantlet you could put it here or here. Yeah, or here, and it looks really cool. Here, and even back there. So there are a decent chunk of new positions you could place them on, and this is really cool. But then again, we also have the bigger ones, and you can't put them everywhere as they have different aspect ratios. So maybe I really dislike I'm getting butthurt because artillery always focuses me, so I probably need a band-aid. Probably like maybe even up here, which... actually, yeah, totally over my tank, a really big band-aid. Or a grin, which looks really... I don't like that. And if you are a speedy tank, you can probably use some racing stripes like this. So, yes, you can definitely... Actually, that looks really unique like this. I think that looks really cool, actually. Maybe what about this? No, that looks bad. But this looks really cool. Like now you have a totally different tank, which you, in my opinion, would never see like this in the wild. So I really do enjoy that. I really do. Another thing which is now new is we got new numbers, and they all look pretty decent. I don't dislike them. The only thing I'm still struggling with, I want to have just put 1 number on it and maybe make it a tiny touch bigger. Obviously, if we just use this, we are Agent 007. But sometimes I just want to have a 9, or maybe just an 8. Or maybe I want to be a cool guy and have 69, you know? Or 420. Oh, which doesn't work because Wargaming is against drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Anyway, this is about it for the new customization, which is pretty darn cool. Another thing, disabled team damage. I'm going to talk about this in a different video as well, because it is a whole separate topic I want to talk about. In total, 22 missions were changed, 3 of which were completely changed. And yeah, 5 SPG missions were changed for the second front, and 12 SPG missions are changed for the 260 and T55A. Then we already had a vehicle customization. Now we have some changes to World of Tanks Premium account. And I think a lot of your players will love to hear that if you use World of Tanks Premium account. As you might know, when you win a game, you can put on a booster, which is like 3 times. I use them all the time when I have a great game. I don't need the experience, but if you use that booster, you get 3 times the free experience, meaning that when you have a great game, you probably get like 100 free experience, which would be amazing. Well, you get an additional 200 extra, and now you have 300, which is awesome. Totally suggest you to do this, even if you don't need to grind anymore. It's a really cool thing. Now, Wargaming made or reworked the logic of adding the manageable XP bonus within World of Tanks premium account. Now the extra XP will be sent to the crew according to the same rules that are applied to the combat experience. That is awesome, Wargaming. Thank you very much for that change, seriously. So, for example, now I'm playing my Waffenträger of Panzer IV. I have an amazing game. Like, I don't know, 10k damage, and I got, I don't know, 22 experience with the bonus. Meaning, my whole crew will also get 22 experience because I have XL crew training. All those experience will go to one person now. That is great. This is what we needed. If the accelerated crew training is disabled or is not available before the beginning of the battle, a share of experience will go to the crew while the rest will go to the vehicle. So even without this added, parts will go to the crew and parts will go to the vehicle. If the accelerated crew training is enabled, all experience will be distributed evenly between those members. So we have 6 people here, meaning, well, dear ladies and gentlemen, we will get, like, when we have a 30k game, we have like 5,000 experience per person, which is cool. I really do think this is cool. There are also some conditions to this, however. The most recent victory for this selected vehicle, obviously. The vehicle is in the garage, so I can't really like sell this vehicle right now. The crew that won the battle is in the vehicle, so I can't put a different crew in it or like on a premium tank. And the current state of the acceleration has to be toggled. So it has to be on, like the accelerated crew training has to be enabled. Otherwise, you can't enable it afterwards and it would work. Then apparently there was a small change to the map Malinovka, where they removed apparently one little tree. The next thing is something about those tanks right here, and I think a lot of you hate those tanks. I personally like them, but they are hard to play. And Wargaming is now doing some optimizations. The first thing is they optimize the engine modes. Right now, when you change between 2 modes, you tend, like this is my personal Ferrari, obviously, you tend to drive, you press X and change the mode, and you quickly lose speed or even stop, and then you go speedy. This is going to change. It will be now much more fluent. I'm going to talk about this as well, because this is something I really want to know if this is good or not, because I like the wheeled vehicles. Hence why I was such a maniac to free mark the tier 10 tank. You know, I'm just that stupid. Anyway, moving on, there are other changes to those where Ferraris. When we are switching between those modes, apparently the wheels will be more realistic looking. By the way, I hope they fix that this hinge right here is actually properly mounted on the wheel. Otherwise, I will be pissed, and I'm going to talk about this. And they improve the movement physics. So when you are running now over an obstacle, it will be easier to regain control again. And this is important because, yeah, like it tends to be when it's a bumpy road, you drive on it and you like doing this basically. You're just jumping around it, then whoop, you lose everything and probably crash or drive into the water and drown yourself. And in Clan Wars, it's really, really annoying. And it definitely didn't happen to RagingRaptor at all. It did. And yeah, so they're going to change that. Added the option to disable the speedometer of the wheeled vehicles in the client settings. So you can go in here into the client settings and say, nope, I don't want this speedometer anymore. I really want that speedometer, however, in aim mode. So please, Wargaming, give us this option as well. That would be awesome sauce. Then they added the option to show you the auto aim indicator. Like as you can see here, we can enable it or disable it. And I think it's very important to know if you're using auto aim or not. So that's a cool thing. And lastly, this is also for the Swedish tank destroyers. You can change the drive mode and the siege mode during the 30 seconds pre-battle. So you don't have to like drive a bit, press X or for my case shift, and then you are in speed mode. You can already prepare this speed mode right off the bat, which is sweet and which is awesome. Very well done. Then we have some changes to the interface. Added the option of disabling vehicles in the client settings. Duplication indicates of the damage modes. I'm kind of confused what they mean with that, so I'm going to skip over that. And obviously that we can disable the indicator. The indicator for auto aim. Then team battles is rest in pieces, so Goodbye, Moon Man. Next up, we have the changes to tanks and tanks which were added to the game. First things first being the AE Phase 1, currently only for Super Test players is being added. Which is cool, I guess, because the AE Phase 1 looks cool, and I think this update will be the first one which we will be able to get the AE Phase 1 in. Then obviously the new British light tanks, and lastly, the STB-1. Indeed, the STB-1 got some changes, and in general, they're all buffs, except for one. But looking at it from everything, it's a buff. By the way, it looks like my EBR drank too much Red Bull because it suddenly gained wings. Wink, wink. Anyway, they nerfed the traverse speed by 3 degrees, which is, okay, not that good, but not that bad, because you gain 4 degrees in turret traverse. So, you have a net gain of 1 degree per second, which is great. Now, however, they added an additional 6 degrees of gun elevation. So with hydropneumatic suspension, you have 21 degrees. And they gave you an additional 8 degrees of gun depression. Excuse me, not 8 degrees, 2 degrees, which pumps it down to 8. So now you have over your side, you have 8 degrees of gun depression. Not the 10 you used to have, but still rather well. And this is cumulative to the hydropneumatic suspension. Now you have 14 degrees of gun depression over your front, which is ridiculous, and it feels very much enjoyable to use. And this might make even this tank better than the youuuu, because the turret is rather strong still, and now you have 14 degrees of gun depression compared to this guy's, where is it? Wait, doesn't it show 13 degrees? So, yes, STB-1 got an additional buff. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I'm going to have a look at the new British Manticore in the new video, in the next upcoming video. And yes, I'm also going to, when we are looking at the British tank line in general, I'm also going to give you some information about, do you need tracks? Do you don't need them? Are they necessary? What can you do without tracks? And what are the experiences really needed to do it? Thank you so much for your attention. My name is RagingRaptor, and I'll talk to you all later.